Dan, if you're ready, let's get this thing going.
On your mark. No.
Here we go, the 2023 Foot Locker National Championship. Girls are underway.
And you can see the different strategies already taking place. Some are out as fast as they possibly can, others filing in. But you can bet right now there's a lot of thoughts going on. Where are the people I know? Who are the people I don't know? What is my race strategy? What do I do? You have to just settle in here, relax, take a deep breath, and let the racing come to you.
So we mentioned this is a true cross-country course, so those of you watching online here, so they start out here a little bit of a downhill, fast first 500. They'll make a U-turn in what is called the dog park loop, and then we'll start to climb. There is no flat part of this, so we get out very quickly in the beginning here. And right to the front, Rachel Forsyth, the senior, the Michigan State champ. Well, that is fast, Carrie. This is out quick.
Well, she's been on fire this year, 5th last weekend. She knows exactly how to win races. We've seen it time and time again with her. But I think that she's excited. She wants to get out there and establish herself. A lot of athletes think about that. They want to be where, they want to see themselves in the early parts of the races where they want to finish. And clearly she's here to win.
We don't see that usually. Someone makes such a strong move right out of the gun. This is a very impressive start. Well, we certainly know what her strategy is here. This is going to go out very quickly here. It looks like our two girls from the Northeast, Ariel Makia and Ellie Shea, they have gotten used to running together. They're going to lead that chase group here. So the gauntlet has been thrown down by Rachel Forsyth. Here we go. And Makia and Shea leading that chase group. We'll get a half-mile split here in just a moment.
Well, Rachel Forsyth has not raced here. She has not lost a race in her regular season all year. She did get that 5th place at NXN, like I said last week. But sometimes when you're coming off of a race like you did last week, you're excited, you're hungry to get back out there and to get back up front where you're used to being.
So they are just about to come up to the 800-meter split here. This will be the first half mile of our race here. And that continues to be Rachel Forsyth out of Pioneer High School. And she comes by at 2:23. 2:23 for the 800. That is flying on our lead in the first 800. Carrie, this is a bold move.
Well, it is bold and it's exciting. You know, she was here 2 years ago. She placed 33rd here 2 years ago. And she's had some things that she's been dealing with personally in the sport, outside of the sport, and she really is just thrilled to be back. She's excited to be here. She's hungry, as I said, and so I'm not surprised to see this type of athlete out there getting after it early on.
And she is getting after it. Jaswinski right in that group, Makia, Cheeseman, Zeeland, Leachman, Shea, all of them right there. Here she comes, heading right by the start line. What a great course to watch. You get to see them so often. They are flying here. Jaswinski, then Makia, right up in there, Cheeseman, Zeeland in there. Here comes Shea with the shades on, and then the pack. But everybody has been forced. You've got to make a decision, don't you, Carrie? You either go or you wait. You can't really afford to wait too long, though.
You can't. You have to start reeling her in if you want to be able to get up on her. We do know that there's a lot left in this course, but this is what happens in cross country. Someone gets out there and they go for it. But they have to remember that there's a big pack working together behind them. So Rachel Forsyth, like I said, we've seen her run hard from the gun time and time again. Now the ladies behind her need to figure out if they start reeling her in soon or work together on that second lap.
Let's put this in a little bit perspective. So Carrie Beloga, who we got a chance to talk to and here today, ran one of the great races of all time. 8 fastest all time. She ran 16:49 last year. She was 2:35 at 800 last year. That is 12 seconds faster for Forsyth. So this is certainly uncharted territory. The Midwest, by the way, doing pretty well, but the South right with it. The Midwest and the South both with 37 points at the 800, then the Northeast and the West. So we'll see how this moves play out. We're about 1,200 meters now, a little bit more than that. We'll come to the hill for the first time, and at that point we will get a mile split. So to give you an idea, let's just keep track of where we've been. Last year, Balboa was 5:17 at the mile. That's the first mile. You heard the kids talk earlier about the hill. Well, we're coming up to it for the first time, the big hill. It's almost 400 meters from the bottom to the top. There is a little slight break halfway up where they do a switchback. And then I think Connell Alford was the one who said that false top. That's true because it just keeps going up. So last year, Balboa 5:17. This year, right now, as she comes by the mile, we'll get that split.
It looked like it was 5:01 or 5:02, and that is well underneath what we saw last year and the course record. Course record split was 5:21, set by Melody Fairchild in 1990.
So here we go, heading up the hill. It's very steep for about the first 150 meters, and then we start to make those turns. But boy, Rachel Forsythe, this is incredible. You talk about courageous moves here. She looks good.
She does look good, and you know, we were asking her this weekend what kind of runner she is, what she likes. She said she's been training better than ever, and she is an uphill runner. She loves the hills.
Looks like the girls from the south making a bit of a move there. Leachman, Faith Cheeseman, Zeeland, all see them up in that group also. Jaswinski up in there, Makia Shea. All of them, those are the players. Those are the people that we talked about earlier. They are running well. That mile, oh my, we're going to have to check this. It has her mile at 5 flat.
5 flat.
5 flat at the mile. So
she's flying.
She's picking it up. Leachman 5:10. Jaswinski 5:10. Shea 5:15. Makia 5:15. Zeeland 5:15. Cheeseman, our first 7 girls faster than Balboa was at the mile last year. So not only has Forsythe made a move, Forsythe has made a move that has forced everybody to react. And here we go on the downhill.
Well, and reacting is what you were just saying. This is something that these athletes have to keep in mind. You know, they are so used to running races in their home states where maybe they have big leads all the time, but when all of a sudden someone has a lead on you, you have to reframe your mind. So the chase pack has to sort of get going here, try to close this gap on Forsythe, because the longer she's out there all alone, the more confidence she gets.
So she will come back. So the course is basically 2 loops of the same course. They'll come back here to the start line area. The crowd really getting into it. I think everybody here appreciates this effort. If she can hold it, it's going to be one of the great races of all time, and we'll see which athletes can respond and challenge her. But Rachel Forsythe, there is no doubt about it. We will remember this race no matter what happens this year that Rachel took it out at 5 flat. This is incredible.
Well, now she's going to start hearing the crowd. She's going to hear you. I need you, everybody out there. This is that moment. But Rachel Forsythe taking it right from the gun, hard off the gun. Looking like she might need to regroup a little bit here. You can now see the athletes starting to close in.
A little bit. So here they come. This is basically the halfway point, 1.5 miles. Here she comes across the road. Rachel Forsythe, her final high school race of her cross-country career, and she is out to make it memorable here. She comes by at 7:43. That is still very fast. That's 13 seconds faster than what we had last year for Balboa. And moving well, though, here comes the sophomore, Leachman. She's 7:50, close that gap. Then Jaswinski there in the Midwest running 1:3 here. But the South running well. Here comes Allie Zeeland and Abby Faith Cheeseman. Ellie Shea still right there, tough in there. Ruth White, Makia in there, Dalton, and Humphreys. That rounds out the top 10.
Lots of our returners, the top 2, were not here last year. But a lot of those returners now are deciding this second loop is where they're going to really push. You can see that with Allie Zeeland, Abby Faith Cheeseman, Ellie Shea, starting to really get that race face on.
Hey, the South made a move there, so halfway through, the South is our team leader here as they come by. South at 30, Midwest at 46, Northeast at 59, the West at 101. But it is Forsythe, Leachman, Jaswinski, Zeeland, Cheeseman, the top 5, Shea, White, Makia, Bonner, Dalton, and Humphreys in 6 through 10. Into the dog park loop and starting to close that gap. Elizabeth Leachman, the sophomore out of Texas, starting to move up.
Well, Leachman ran 16:33. I know we don't talk a ton about times, but that is blazing fast. And she has run the fastest regional time in the field. She won by 17 seconds, but she is someone to keep your eye on. Like you said, she's only a sophomore, but she runs like she has been running forever.
There we go. Here she comes out of the dog park loop. Forsythe there, but now in the background, you can see Leachman, the senior. You made a good point, Carrie. Regroup, and let's hope she's regrouped. That'll move up to the 2-mile split. And at that point, Leachman, though, right there with her. Those are our first two, trying to pull away even more.
Leachman ran last weekend. She led for a lot of that race. A little bit of disappointment for her when she led for so long, but she's excited to be here. She seems very positive, and sometimes when you have a race that doesn't quite go the way you want it, you come back even better. So she looks like she's having a great day right now.
Here we go, coming out of the eucalyptus trees here into the light, heading up to the 2-mile. That's Leachman now on her left of Forsythe, and Forsythe responds. Oh my, yes! Here we are at 2 miles, a mile to go to a national championship. 10:37.
Woo!
So we are not slowing down, we are picking it up.
We are
so
still
it's officially
under.
10:43 is the split officially here. That's still 12 seconds under last year, and it is Forsythe and Leachman. Now, Carrie, one of them was out front. The others in the back can say, well, she might, but two out front, somebody's got to be getting a little worried in those back spots, huh?
Yeah, I think they need to start thinking about moving up a little bit, but Melody Fairchild's pace, but 10:43, they're right on that record pace. So keep your eye on the clock. But yeah, kind of nice for Rachel Forsythe now to have someone there with her. Leachman pushing her and kind of making her regroup a little bit.
And they are hanging tough right there, shoulder to shoulder. Leachman in the orange, Forsythe in that blue, and downhill. Forsythe has responded magnificently. Here comes Zeeland in third. Faith Cheeseman coming around the corner in fourth. Jaswinski right in there with him in fifth. A little bit of a gap. Mary Bonner Dalton running well, leading that chase group. Ruth White, Ellie Shea stuck right in there, hanging tough. Dorenkamp in there, Dalton, Daly, all in that group. And here we go across the road. Gonna head across into the pond area, and then we try the hill one more time. But it is a battle. Forsythe and Leachman.
Allie Zeeland, one of few that has been here 3 times. This is her 3rd time. She loves racing here. 36th in 2021, 8th in 2022. She's in 3rd right now.
It is hard to talk about, but 16:39, that is that incredible record that is more than 3 decades old, and looks like Leachman going to try to open up a little bit of that lead before they get ill, but Forsythe, oh, she continues to hang right there. She is not letting the sophomore get away. She is just a stride or 2 back. So this is Leachman from Bone Champion High School in Texas, the sophomore. A lot of people picked her to win. She's got such incredible track times. The Texas 6A state champion, a 5A state champion, set a all-time course record there as just a sophomore, and about to put a stamp on this if she can. But Forsythe not giving any quarter. She is staying close. Zeeland, Faith Cheeseman, Jaswinski, Dalton, and White. That's the top 7. Here we go, just about to cross the road and head up the big hill. And every girl talked about it in the interview, Carrie. The hill the second time is brutal.
It is brutal, but look at the strength. And we saw that with Parker Valby at the NCAAs this year. She's someone that trains a lot like Zeeland. They're on the cross-training machines. They're doing the arc trainer, the elliptical. They don't run every single day. And you could see that on the hills in Virginia for Parker Valby. We're seeing it on the hills here in San Diego for Leachman.
Leachman there now has opened up about a 4-second lead there. So she came by at essentially the mat where the mile mark is, but the second time around at 13:27. That is still 10 seconds ahead of the pace of Beloga. Now, Beloga closed great last year, and Forsythe hanging tough here as we head up that hill, almost halfway, taking a quick glance back there. But it is Leachman now across the top. Zeeland, Faith Cheeseman moving up well. Dalton continues to move up. And White moves up into 6th there as they go across the top of the hill.
And that top of the hill is tough. We heard it's a false flat. That's a great way to push to explain what it is going on up on the hill. You climb this real steep part as they're climbing right now, then you make a left turn and you're still climbing before that real hard downhill. But you get to the downhill and you know you are getting close to home.
And Leachman now going across the top here, just about to head up on, or come on down on the steepest part of the course. When she gets to the bottom of that, she'll have less than a half mile to go. Elizabeth Leachman, the sophomore out of Texas, has hung tight when that first move was strong and is now looking even better, just about to head on the downhill.
Well, Leachman's been running for a long time. She started in the 4th grade. She's played basketball and softball as well, but she loves to run, and she likes to run out front. We've seen that time and time again. Even though she's only a sophomore, she's looking great. Here she comes.
And she has made it. Oh, she looks great coming off the downhill. These are a couple of S-turns. Once they hit that last flat straightaway, less than 400 to go, she is into those turns now, and she is running incredibly fast.
As you said, she's gone under 10 minutes for the 2 mile. She has wheels. She's also a 4:51 1-miler. She knows how to turn it on in the end, and here we go. She's getting closer, everybody.
She will come by across the road. That'll be her 3-mile time. We're just a shade over 16 minutes, 16:03 right now. Here she comes on her way to the 2023 Foot Locker National Cross Country Championship. Oh my, Elizabeth Leachman's first steps onto the stage. She's right at 16:17 at 3 miles. She has slowed down a bit, but here she comes over the hill now into the finish across the top of the road. Here she is, Elizabeth Leachman, the sophomore from Texas. Now just about 75 meters to go, and she picks it up again. She's gonna go all the way to the finish. She's not just happy finishing, she wants to put a stamp on it that will be remembered. Here she comes. Zealand in second, but our 2023 Foot Locker National Champion, Elizabeth Leachman. She goes under 17 on her first time ever, becomes the 13th girl ever to go under 17 minutes. Zealand, outstanding race in second at 17:04. Rachel Forsythe, what an unbelievable effort to take that out and then to hang tough like that to get third. Oh my, 17:08 Forsythe. What a great, great race for Rachel. And as we continue to finish, Mary Bonner Dalton, 17:28 in that 4th spot. In 5th, Addison Canoblo, 17:43. Ruth White, 17:43 in 6th. And Jane Halterman rounds out our top 7 at 17:43. And let's bring all these girls in, 40 of the best girls in the country. Every one of them either a state champ or one of the top girls in their state. That time of 16:50. Well, I'll be dang, right? What Carrie ran last year, 1 second slower. That becomes the 9th fastest time in 43 years of Foot Locker cross country, 37 years here in San Diego. What a great race. What a statement made by Elizabeth Leachman, a born champion high school in Texas. She adds not just the 5A state championship, but all. We'll get an interview with her in a minute, but we're going to bring all these young ladies home, all these champions, all these All-Americans. So our status, by making it as one of the top 10s in their region, they become honorable mention All-American. And then here the top 5 are All-American first team, the next 5 All-American second team, and the third 5 All-American third team. But here they all come across the line. A great race. Billy, that was one heck of an effort on Rachel's part, wasn't it?
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Yeah, a lot of times when they have championship races, I know at least in college, people are sitting on a couple of the favorites. She knew she was one of the favorites, and she said, I'm going to let them know. She showed up at 2:23 through the first 800. Oh, my gosh.
And then Leachman didn't panic. That's a sophomore. That's a sophomore girl running that fast. That is one of the best races I've ever seen here. That is the second fastest sophomore time. Only Julia Stamp's 16:41 way back in 1994. But boy, Leachman, that's just great. And you know, I can't keep going back to Rachel Forsythe. I can't believe what an effort. You go at that hard. She had every right when that girl came up on her at 2 miles to say, all right, I gave it a shot. You know, I'll just finish it out. But she didn't.
Yeah, there's one thing, you know, when you come home from a national championship or any big race, you always have good and bad things you take from the race. And there's one thing she can make sure she didn't say, and she cannot say she did not go for it. She put everything she went for it. She tried to break everyone, and she there's no regrets. Oh, I should have went here. I should have done that. She went for it.
Yeah, it'll be fun to ask if was that the plan? 223 at the 800 or two? Man, were you going to go out hard? Did she get excited? But what a great effort. But Leachman, that was outstanding. You know, to come back and to be the national champion. We'll check on the team scores and get the official scores here in a minute. Well, we can. The race itself, though, that blew it up, didn't it?
Oh yeah. I think she was a little disappointed last week, so she wanted to make a statement here. She's one of the few people that got 2 tries at a national title.
That's
correct?
True. That's true, and you surely got to give it to her today. You know, for the other girls, that really, you know, we talk about how this race impacts them and whether experience or not. So you go to a national championship race, you think that maybe everybody's going to be looking at each other. We'll go by 2:35 or so. And then, what is it, Mike Tyson? Everybody feels good until they get hit in the face. Is that what that is?
Oh, yeah.
I think they got hit in the face, didn't they?
Just a bit.
That was a haymaker.
That was. That hill will do everything to you this race.
Wow, that's a Forsythe haymaker there. So we want to congratulate all our girls. We're going to get an interview. Looks like Carrie is available on...
So you guys talked about Leachman's training, though. She's been doing a lot of cross training instead of running. It's kind of interesting
she is.
to me.
Balby, you know, everybody's
Parker
talking,
Valby training.
Yeah, everybody's talking about her that may be, you know, and Leachman really did it. But gosh, so she ran 9:57 as a freshman on the track, and she just ran the 8th fastest time in 37 years of the best distance runner in America. Are we talking 9:40?
Oh my
for
gosh.
a girl on the track, 9:30. Do we even say it?
Do we have her marked for that?
9:39?
Do we have her marks for that second 2 mile? Because that's
Yeah.
where she really made the move.
We'll have to look that up on our results here, see where we are on that as far as the 2 mile time goes.
Also, I thought it was pretty cool that Jessie Jawinski, we talked to her brother and her whole family,
that's right. That was him, huh?
she was up there in the front too. She gave it a good effort. She gave it a go, and I think that was kind of cool to see that come full circle. You know, it's always better when you have your family rooting for you, and I think it's a amazing role model for her brother Bob to look up to, seeing Jessie on the biggest stage here, and hoping someday, you know, he's going to be here and he's going to do the same things his sister did. All
right, we still got a great boys race, but we'd like to interview our girls here, our champions. But let's look a little bit at the team score. The South girls said this might have been their year, and they scored 22 points. And Carrie is now with our champion, the sophomore Elizabeth Leachman. Carrie?
And what does it feel like?
Oh, it's so exciting. You know, that whole race was a real challenge. All those girls were pushing me the whole time, so it's like the longest and shortest race of my life. But yeah, I didn't expect anything until I crossed the tape, so yeah.
You had to keep your patience out there today. Rachel took it out real hard. So how did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I really just tried to focus on what I took away from last week and, you know, letting my emotions get the best of me. So I just kind of had to trust in the training that I've done so far and just trust that I was going to be able to pick it up when I needed to instead of going out and dying.
That hill, the second time, you look pretty strong on it. What were you thinking?
I was thinking this is a little rough, but got to get through it because really once you get up to the bottom of that hill, you're so close to being done, you don't want to give it up then.
You're one of 13 girls to go under 17 minutes. Were you worried about time at all when you were coming down that finish?
You know, I think that a
second
couple
mile,
weeks
but
ago when I
1.5
qualified, I was kind of looking to run a certain time. But I think that after last week and realizing that kind of trying to go out super fast can kill you, I was more focused on trying to place well, so.
You are one of 44 now that have won the Foot Locker Championships. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such an honor to be here. I'm so grateful to Foot Locker and Hoka for this opportunity, and just my parents and my coaches and my teammates who made this all possible.
Congratulations. Elizabeth Leachman right here, our national champion.
We're going to get Carrie's going to get a chance to talk to our second and third placers here in just a minute. But Billy, that middle part of that race,
Yeah,
she really made up some ground, didn't she?
Yeah, I did some research, and from the 1.5 mile mark to the 2.5 mile mark, she was back 7 seconds, and she came back and was up by 4 seconds. So she made an 11-second gap.
All right, Carrie, let's go back to Carrie.
Holly Zealand, I said you were steady Eddie out there today. You just ran so consistent the whole way. You proud of your race?
Yes, I'm super happy with it. Super thankful for a good day today, and yeah, I was really happy with it.
You've been here now time and time again. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, this is great. I mean, my first year I got like 36. Last year I got 8th, so going into today I was like, anything better than 8th would be great, but top 3 was really what I wanted. So I'm super glad with my race today.
Well, congratulations to you. Way to go.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Tim.
All right, thank you. We'll try to get an interview with Rachel if we can also. Our boys are getting ready. We got another great race coming up right after this with the boys championship. That will be one hard act to follow. I think the boys will get a little jacked up after seeing that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that would motivate me for sure. I wonder if that changed anyone's race plan.
I wonder,
You know?
Boy, oh boy, maybe we'll get, you're a half miler, maybe we'll get a sub 2 minute half mile out of
There we
this.
go. They're all faster than me. I know that for sure.
All right, let's move back down to Carrie. Carrie, you got that stud with you right there.
I
All
do.
right.
Rachel Forsythe's right here with me. Rachel, you took it out hard and you held on. That was the hardest part when someone comes up on your shoulder to hang on. Talk us through your race.
NXN didn't really play out how I wanted, but I still wanted to do what I usually do, which is go out hard. And I knew they were going to be coming, and my biggest goal was to respond. And I think I did that to the best of my ability. Obviously, I was going for the win, but I'm proud of how I ran.
I'd say you need to be proud. You went for it. Was that the plan all along, was to get off the line as fast as you did and to go for the win today?
Yeah, I didn't know if there was going to be someone with me at first or if they were going to slowly come up, but I knew that I wanted to get out hard, yeah.
Well, you ran awesome. Thanks for putting on a great show. Rachel Forsythe, everybody.
Well, half of the 2023 Foot Locker National Championships presented by Hoka are in the books.